Time 9:30 in the morning. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol; my behaviour, trying to be perfect, never so. Always saying yes. If somebody asked me when I was working in my early life, I would say yes, and it went on and on and on. So I had more than one career and went careering around work, and always putting more in than other people seem to do. So I reckon I copped a few resentments along the way. So what was I resentful about? Why didn't people work as hard as I did? Why weren't people putting in as much effort as me? And I guess they had a more normal balance around life in general. That is, work is part of life, and also relaxing, enjoying life and being part of something, part of community, part of whatever interests us outside work. And for me, I spent many years just very focused on work, very focused on relationships. So I guess workaholic, relationshipaholic, and never really getting past understanding that we didn't have to perform in some way in order to be loved. So I guess the quest was for acceptance of me by others, rather than understanding the journey is about acceptance of what is and who I am, and learning who I am on a daily basis now. So I'm absolutely grateful to the Fellowship of AA. Excuse me, I just need a quick sip of coffee. Hot and good. And AA, the Fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, keeps me on track on a daily basis in many ways. I go to meetings every day if I can, and sometimes at weekends I go to two. And hopefully today I will go to a meeting where I can just sit and listen, which is often what I do. And then tonight I'm going to a venue where I'll do the chair. So I don't prepare for it, and I just speak as the day is and how I'm doing, and share experience, strength and hope, similarly to here on the videos. And I always share the AA Preamble in my videos because it slows me down into the moment of now and helps me talk about experience, strength and hope. And I use AA literature, but I'll get into that in a moment. So the AA Statement of Intent, or the Preamble, shared at every meeting for a newcomer or somebody who's been around for decades, and that's not me. Anyway, here we go. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And it's been an okay day yesterday. Sunshine, got some photos done, made a little photo video, stuck it on Facebook, and there are links to other stuff as well around. So my mother was ill yesterday, and she's okay today, and I've spoken to her, which is a good thing. And you know, we need to cherish the people in our lives, and I've learned over the last few years it's better to cherish and not be superficial or indifferent to life. And that's something my father said to me on his deathbed, and it was a lot of years ago, and it took me a long time to realise just how badly I did not cherish myself, and I treated myself with superficiality and indifference, and it didn't make me very knowable or understandable as a human being, because I didn't know who I was. So daily I get a little bit of a glimpse of who I am becoming, and we are all changing one way or another. So literature of AA helps me greatly. September for me is a focus on step 9, which is part of the 12-step program of living with steps, not actually just studying them. But step 9 is about making direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. So step 9 is a bit further down the track, if you like, in learning how to be sober a day at a time. So each step works every day in some way or other, and we sort of absorb them as we go to meetings and listen to others and what they're up to. But as Bill sees it, one of my daily reading books, this isn't directly about step 9, but it sort of gives you the basis of what can help when we understand where we're coming from. Page 204, the building of character. Since most of us are born with an abundance of natural desires, it isn't strange that we often let these far exceed their intended purpose. When they drive us blindly, or we willfully demand that they supply us with more satisfactions or pleasures than are possible or due to us, that is the point at which we depart from the degree of perfection that God, or in good conscience, we are looking for, or God wishes for us here on earth. That is the measure of our character defects, or if you wish, our sins. So we have virtues and sins. If we ask God, or in good conscience, depending on your understanding, well, God will certainly forgive our derelictions, but in no case does he render us white as snow and keep us that way without our cooperation. That is something we are supposed to be willing to work toward ourselves. He asks only that we try as best we know how to make progress in the building of character. And I guess, in our early days, when we're a bunch of or a bag of raging hormones, and everything is focused around life and experiencing it and growing up, and primal urges, which we all have, well, is it not surprising that we can do things to excess and then wonder where we are? And in the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, there's a paragraph here about making amends, which I'm sort of going through it very gently. And it says here, as soon as we begin to feel confident in our new way of life and have begun by our behaviour and example to convince those about us that we are indeed changing for the better, it is usually safe to talk in complete frankness with those who have been seriously affected, even those who may be only a little or not at all aware of what we have done to them. The only exceptions we will make will be cases where our disclosure would cause actual harm. These conversations can begin in a casual or natural way, but if no such opportunity presents itself, at some point we will want to summon all our courage, head straight for the person concerned, and lay our cards on the table. We needn't wallow in excessive remorse before those we have harmed, but amends at this level should always be forthright and generous, and that is always our part in it and not their part in it. Or, if you hadn't done this, it wouldn't have happened. None of that. It's just our part, and we're not expecting something back. So when I go on to daily reflections for today, and this is 12 months long, 12 steps, one a month. It says here, repairing the damage for September the 13th. And I'm just making sure I am on September the 13th. Repairing the damage. Good judgment, a careful sense of timing, courage and prudence, these are the qualities we shall need when we take step 9. And that comes from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions a bit earlier in that blue book. To make amends can be viewed in two ways. First, that of repairing damage. For if I have damaged my neighbour's fence, I make a mend. And that is a direct amend. The second way is by modifying my behaviour. For if my actions have harmed someone, I make a daily effort to cause no further harm. I mend my ways. And that is an indirect amend. Which is the best approach? The only right approach, provided that I am causing no further harm in so doing, is to do both. If harm is done, then I simply mend my ways. To take action in this manner assures me of making honest amends, and the whole programme is about open, honest and willing. So those are the readings, and what are they saying to us every time we do read something or attend a meeting? It's a way to understand how to change our attitude and behaviour to get the best possible, I suppose, is making progress on a daily basis, learning how to be more open, honest and willing, and stick with recovery, because it works if we work at it. Anyway, I've come to the end. So as I say, the serenity prayer, it is to God, good conscience, of your understanding, not mine, not a collective understanding, but what you come to believe for yourself. So to God, or in good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to learn the difference is just for today.